Ghost would be ashamed. He'd be like, "You kidding me, little motherfucker? I had at least 3 people trying to kill me every episode, and you was one of them." Guys, what it do is your boy Caped Informer, and we are back in the building to review and recap yet another episode of Power Book Part 2, Ghost. So for all the naysayers, you guys have to give props where props is due. The show is starting to shape up in a major way and has been able to distinguish itself from the original show. I love to see it. If you are new here, I do breakdowns for this show every week, so definitely tap on that like and subscribe button to not miss out on any of that. I'll link the rest of my breakdowns for this season right up above me if you missed out on any of those, and go ahead and give your boy a follow on Instagram, both my personal and business pages. So in episode 8, Family First, it is homecoming weekend over at Stansfield University, meaning everyone's parents are here to visit. And aside from Tariq being left out of these festivities, he has some bigger issues. For starters, he's running low on his supply, which wasn't that big of a deal until he gets an unexpected visit from one of his father's old associates, 2-Bit. So, as we all know, Ghost had a habit of making promises he never intended on following through with. 2-Bit wasn't having any of that, and settled on his next of kin to provide what Ghost promised him, which happened to be a large sum of money that Tariq was not in possession of. And it was pretty clear the brother meant business. He gave Tariq a single day to come up with 24 grand. Now, Tariq's a fairly smart kid, and he realizes his little pill popping business was in no way going to be efficient enough to earn him that kind of money in that kind of time. So after another unexpected visit from one of his old connects, Effie, he settles on linking back up with her to start moving some of that hard white. Oh yeah, he also smashed. Go Tariq. He moves it through the campus, but has to keep it on the down low, especially from Brayden, who made it clear he wanted to start slanging it with Tariq already, which he eventually figures out anyway, and guessing his feelings, but he'll get over it, I'm sure. Anyways, remember the boiling point with Kane and Tariq I was referring to in the last episode? Well, if you don't, watch that last recap, but the pot definitely overflowed this episode when Kane hires the GTG boys to carry out a hit on Tariq. He gets cornered during the homecoming game at Stansfield and is saved in the nick of time by 2-Bit, the other guy that was threatening his life in this episode. Just like a real G, 2-Bit texted a pic of the dead hitman back to Little Guap, and Little Guap texted Kane back, believing that it was all set up against him. They immediately settled on a revenge plot against Kane. Meanwhile, this is all unbeknownst to Monet and the rest of the family. Tariq is visibly shook up and makes the impulsive choice to call his mom again to tell her that someone tried to kill him. Bro, the first ever assassination attempt against Tariq, and he immediately goes and calls his mama. Ghost would be ashamed. He'd be like, "You kidding me, little motherfucker? I had at least 3 people trying to kill me every episode, and you was one of them." The GTG boys find Zeke and his boys leaving a nightclub after their big victory at the homecoming game. They all pretend to be fans and goes in to ask Zeke for a picture. Little Guap instead drops him and aims a gun right at the star player's kneecap. Luckily, Drew was there to witness the entire scene and save Zeke from getting shot. It isn't until a little later that Monet puts the dots together to realize that this was a whole retaliation scheme that the GTG boys put on because Kane got one of their boys killed after hiring them to kill Tariq. Monet has had it with Kane at this point and has made up her mind to dismiss him from the family entirely. Even killing the GTG boys wasn't enough penance for Kane to earn Monet's trust again. He also ended up sparing Little Guap for business, which I'm sure will make for some complications. Zeke's punk ass ran to Professor Milgram, and who knows how much is going to start spilling to her. Now I see why Monet never wanted him included in the family business. Homeboy is twice the size of his cousins and the biggest baby. Anyways, Monet and Tariq make amends after she tells him that she kicked Kane out of the family, so he won't have anything to worry about. Which we all know isn't entirely true. Kane is in no way just going to give up, especially now that he thinks Tariq is the person that ruined his life. Something else we have to look out for is creepy Professor Jabari and what he plans on doing with the new knowledge of Tariq's drug business. We see him about to rat Tariq out to Professor Milgram, mostly because he still thinks he's the one sleeping with her, but he stops himself because he needs Tariq to finish writing his paper so that he can plagiarize it for the publishing company that wants to publish his book. At the end of the episode, he downloads course correct, which won't result in anything good. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this review, but please go ahead and leave me your thoughts on this episode in the comments below. Don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all next week.